Hello, friends. There's always something left unsaid. Every mission, every choice hides a secret layer. The story began where no one expected, or maybe where everyone had long been prepared. In October 2013, a group of local hikers and nature enthusiasts in the depths of the dense Amazon jungles in Brazil's Maranhão state stumbled upon a startling discovery. The wreckage of a small light aircraft, half buried amidst a tangle of plants, moss, and the most humid parts of a region rarely touched by human feet. What set this discovery apart from a simple aviation accident was not only the unusual location of the wreckage, but also the documents and objects left inside the plane. The fuselage remained strangely intact. There was no sign of an explosion or severe impact. The wings and tail were damaged, but not in a way that suggested a deadly crash. It resembled more of an emergency landing under adverse conditions. In the cockpit, the remains of two skeletons were found in a semi-seated position. The remains clearly showed that years had passed since their death. Due to severe decay, identification was impossible, and no identification documents were found on the bodies, nor had they ever existed. But the true secret was hidden inside the dashboard and the cargo compartment. A sealed yellow envelope along with a military-grade metal box containing typewritten documents marked Top Secret. The documents referred to a mission named Magic Bow, which appeared to be a special reconnaissance operation on Syrian soil. The main report, stamped by an unknown unit called Operational Intelligence Group, OIG, detailed the presence of a recon team operating along the Syrian-Iraqi border. Their mission was to identify covert chemical weapons transfer routes, weapons traced back to Ba'athist Iraq stockpiles. The uncovered documents detailed the Magic Bow team's mission, aimed at identifying and stopping the transfer of chemical weapons produced by Saddam's regime. Used in the Iran-Iraq War, now hidden in remote Syrian areas, destined for illegal armed groups. The operation began in the early 2000s. The team entered Deir ez-Zor province, inspecting areas where hidden chemical weapons factories once operated. Their intelligence showed these weapons included toxic gases and lethal chemicals, produced by Iraq in the 1980. But after the war, some were smuggled to Syria. The commander's report stated that after 2 weeks of covert presence in rural areas near Deir ez-Zor, the team, through local sources, obtained approximate coordinates of sites, reportedly visited by unknown military convoys over the years. Initial satellite imagery analysis, especially through vegetation changes, revealed mountain paths absent from official maps. The team, using advanced listening devices like thermal sensors and civilian frequency recorders, monitored activity in the area. One night, a heavy diesel engine sound was recorded at a low frequency, so muffled it seemed to come from a large truck moving below ground level. After days of scouting, the team found a narrow, camouflaged entrance in a mountain cave. The commander noted, the camouflage was so professional, even infrared cameras couldn't detect a temperature difference between the entrance and its surroundings. Approaching within 150 meters of the entrance, a team member, using night vision cameras, spotted a guard in civilian clothes, but his movements showed military training. This was enough to confirm the site's military nature. On the 5th day, after securing the area and setting up hidden recording systems, the team documented a 6-person group carrying sealed plastic-covered loads. Later inspections revealed the loads contained metal cylinders resembling mustard gas containers. A more critical detail in the plane's reports was a reference to an underground tunnel connecting the bunkers to a vast plain southeast of the mountains. Thermal imaging from that area, though from a distance, indicated a nighttime cargo exchange hub. The commander wrote, "This site is not just a weapons bunker. It's a node in a complex chain. A chain where weapons made in Iraq's deserts after 2 decades, are now moving to unknown destinations, and no one knows where they'll go next. Late in the operation, while inspecting an underground bunker in western Syria's mountains, a team member using night vision systems recorded a low-flying object after detailed review and technical analysis. It was likely a reconnaissance drone used in advanced intelligence operations. Analysis of signals around the site revealed new encrypted frequencies, previously undetected in the area, given the suspicious timing of the drone's flight and unprecedented signals in military bands. The commander suspected the team's position was compromised, with tracking or response preparations underway. Since any conflict could destroy the documents and expose the mission, the commander initiated Phase 2 of the emergency protocol, rapid withdrawal and secure data transfer. The data was encrypted separately and divided among team members. A safe land escape route was pre-planned in the operational map. The escape route from the mountains was initially traveled on foot. The team moved through a low-traffic path toward an uninhabited village pre-selected as a safe point by Allied forces. There, a camouflaged vehicle hidden since the operation's start took the team to an area near the Iraq border. At the exit point, the only way to transfer documents discreetly was through an unofficial flight channel, a civilian-looking light aircraft arranged by a covert transport network in the region, landed on an abandoned airstrip with no official identification marks. At the designated point for document handover, the team, per the preset plan, delivered data, images, and written reports to a small cargo plane covertly arranged. The most critical data, including photos, videos, and precise geotechnical coordinates of tunnels and buried equipment, was extracted by a light aircraft equipped with a flight code switching system. In a fully covert operation, the plane first landed in eastern Jordan after swapping cargo and flight codes. It posed as a civilian training plane heading to Turkey. From there, it unofficially entered Albania, then with forged documents as a relief flight, arrived at a small military airport in Liberia, West Africa, at each stage. Parts of the data were decrypted and reviewed to minimize the risk of the entire package being compromised. After 2 weeks, the plane, disguised as a cargo flight with a fake regional air support company identity, began its final journey to South America. Its destination was a region in Bolivia, a covert data storage center under Latin American shell companies. But less than 300 kilometers from its target, all communication with the plane was lost. Crucially, most of this information came from an encrypted military laptop found in the cockpit of the abandoned plane in the Amazon. The South American investigation team recovered this laptop, along with an SSD drive for flight data and encrypted logs. After months of decryption by a cybersecurity unit, files were recovered, including flight plans, lists of altered identification codes, and even encrypted messages between coordination centers and the plane across various routes. Some reports were backed up on an airborne imaging systems. Internal memory, containing flight videos with precise geotechnical coordinates, aerial images of stopover locations, and encrypted data from the plane's autopilot system. These data enabled the precise mapping of the plane's route, stopover points, and even its final objective. But analysts say only about 30 to 40% of the recovered data is complete, with parts still undecodable. The real story begins when the team, after handing over the documents, was forced to escape Syria by land. In the recovered reports attached to the aircraft's documents, the commander of the special unit detailed that after the handover of the classified materials, team members proceeded overland in 3 separate groups toward the Iraqi border via Syria. Each group followed a distinct route, using false identities and civilian cover to avoid drawing attention. However, no record of successful arrival was ever reported for any of the groups. Intelligence analysts who later reviewed the case believed that communication codes and escape routes were likely compromised. Indirect evidence suggested some local coordination calls were intercepted or monitored early. A theory also emerged that one escape route was disrupted by fake checkpoints or artificial security roadblocks, set up by infiltrators designed to avoid conflict or overt detection, simply making passage impossible. Some reports even suggested a possible infiltrator among local sources, leaking the team's movement schedule. This theory was strengthened by the simultaneous loss of encrypted satellite communications and the sudden silence of all 3 escape routes. Ultimately, none of the 12 team members ever reached their final destination. No messages, calls, or traces of them were found. All that remained were the commander's notes, perhaps his final report placed in a special briefcase with the documents. To this day, no country has claimed responsibility for the operation or its team. Among the documents, the commander's handwritten report stood out. He detailed how the team uncovered a network of hidden bunkers in the mountains. Using listening devices, they documented links between these bunkers and local command centers. Recorded images showed some bunkers held old Iraqi chemical weapons, strangely moved to this region. The story of this report, the plane's fate, and its link to the leaked documents remains one of the most mysterious threads of covert operations in the Middle East. The plane found in the Amazon was reportedly part of the document transfer, but it's unclear why, after crossing multiple regions and countries, it crashed or was abandoned in Brazil's jungles. Its registration number wasn't in any official aviation database, nor was its model listed in military or civilian records. Speculation about the flight's true purpose, including the covert transfer of classified documents, remains unanswered after discovery. The documents were sent by the Brazilian team for further analysis, but suspiciously, the investigation faced obstacles and covert interference from security agencies, making a final conclusion impossible. To this day, the precise details and authenticity of these documents remain unconfirmed by any official authority. This case, still one of the most enigmatic and controversial mysteries in the world of covert operations and espionage.